If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the Gnaw on This Business Bytes podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bytes. I'm Ben, and this is Syya, and you're not going to believe this. Today is 4 years of Gnaw on This. It has been 4 years, 208 odd episodes of Syya and I coming to you every Tuesday to sit there and say, what do you think about this? And our loyal followers, our team live, our team replay, it's been amazing what has gone on over the last 4 years and how we've come together and built a community and, have people that just sit there and come back week after week and month after month, and some people year after year, to be able to sit there and chime in and make me laugh, actually probably make both of us laugh in the comments every single week. And I love going through the show afterwards and just reading the comments, because we have this incredibly involved, articulate, funny, and passionate audience that's taken us from where we were to where we are today. And the big thing I want to talk about is consistency. Consistency is key. It's to sit there and say, okay, what can we do week after week, month after month, year after year that's on brand, that's on message, and that builds an audience and builds a tribe and builds people that not only come back on a regular basis, but bring other people to the table. And I think that that's what, a good show is all about. And I think that's what a good business is all about, is being able to sit there and say, this is who we are. This is who we're not. This is what we care about. This is what we don't care about. This is what we talk about. This is what we don't talk about. And be able to come up with a game plan that people can sit there and say, I know week after week, it may not be the same topic. We're not going to be talking about 57 Chevys for 4 years running, but we are going to be getting 15 minutes of material that makes us go, that's interesting. I can use that. I can take that with me. I can ponder this. I can use this in my life and move on for the rest of your day. And I think that that's what we've tried to do. So, Syya, let's gnaw on this.
Oh my gosh, I think I just choked on my saliva. Hold on. You got me excited. Do you remember 4 years and 3 months ago? Because I remember it was
Okay.
early on. Before we hit record.
Right.
We got introduced. I keep forgetting how we got introduced, but
I think it
it
was
was.
Tracy. I think it was Tracy Borison. It was either Tracy Borison or it was the people from, what was it, Etna?
I don't know. I
I
don't know.
can't remember who it
It's been
was.
so many years ago, but here's what gets me is I remember we talked and you were such the I won't say skeptic, but you were really pragmatic about your time, as one should. And sorry. And what makes me chuckle is that you said 3 months, Sia. Let's do it for 3 months.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, what you keep, you've told me this story over and over again, but what fail to remember is I had just come off a 5.5 year podcast every single week where it was solo for me and yes. And they were 35 to 40-minute podcasts. So it was almost 3 times as long as this podcast every single week. And I had just come off of that and I was burned out.
Yeah,
I
that
was,
makes
I was,
sense.
I was
Yeah.
completely burned out and I was going, okay, I've had enough of this podcast. I've taken as far as I can. I've got it. It was called the Your Living Brand live show. Still up on Spotify, still up on iHeart. But, you know, I just come off of this really long engagement, and I'm sitting there going, okay, maybe I'm going to take a break. And then you say, let's do a show. And I was like, part of me was going, yeah, something new, something interesting, something really cool. And part of me was going, do I really want to commit to another show? Like, do I really, at this stage of the game, at that point in time, I'd been podcasting for 11 years. And, so I'm at 14 or 15 years now of podcasting. I think I'm at 15 years. Like, I stopped saying 14. I'm at 15 years of podcasting. And, I've been podcasting for 11 years at that point in time. And I looked at it and said, do I really want to jump into another show? And that's what really was the skeptical part of me, because you and I didn't know each other very well.
We
We
didn't.
we didn't really have a history. We'd had some great long chats. Like, I think a couple of times we were on the phone for a couple hours,
Yeah.
and we were just like, this works.
I'm like,
I'm
no,
like,
remember,
okay.
Jimmy times we're like, why aren't we recording these? They would have been like
I'm
10 episodes.
easily. But you look at it and you go, okay, you know, is this the right time? Am I willing to, and the big word you said, am I willing to commit to
Mm,
another chunk of podcasts? Because I
right,
don't like to do anything halfway.
right.
I'm one of those things. Either we're going to do it right or we're not going to do it at all. And I said, here are the stipulations. We need to do this. We need to do this. We need to, look at it this way. We need to have, 40 or 50 episodes, ready to go on a piece of paper. Says, this is what we're going to talk about for the first year. And if we get there, great. If we don't get there, that's okay. But let's try this and see if it is a symbiotic relationship. Can we work together? Can we build a rhythm? Can we build that consistency? Can we build an audience? And we did.
Yeah,
And we absolutely did. And all of a sudden, you're looking back 4 years later, looking over your shoulder, going, where did the time go?
yeah,
And somebody says, well, did you talk about this? I'm like, I'm sure we did. But when you're looking at 200 plus episodes, now I'd have to look on a call sheet to see if we actually did cover certain topics or not, because I don't remember them all. I mean, they were great. Some of them are better. Some of them are not as great. But for the most part, they're consistent. And I got, and that's, I think, what's held us together and kept us doing this, for 4 years now.
I, you know, it gets, there, I remember even at like, I think was it year one or maybe it was at two, where you actually called me up over the holidays and you're like, do we want to continue on with this? And I
Yeah.
said, look, dude, I go, are you having a bad time? Is there something not right? And you're like, you were worried about the effectiveness of it.
Hmm.
And I said, you know what? As you and I know this well, like, A, we've done a terrible job. I don't mind admitting it. Shoemaker's Kid has no shoes. I don't promote this show. And I feel at times, truthfully, I feel like I'm disrespecting you because I don't promote it as much as I should because, you know, I promote other people's stuff, you know what I mean? Or I help them with theirs, podcasting and, their content. So, I remember we talked about it and we were both kind of like, yeah, are we giving this podcast enough love to continue on? But the funny thing is like it's known, like business type of audience, you're gonna get a ton of lurkers,
Hmm.
right? And I think that's one of the reasons why, like, I don't mind continuing on because I kid you not, Ben, I will go out and about and I don't see some of my colleagues from my corporate days for like, oh my God, it's almost, approaching 10 years. I
Hmm.
haven't seen these people in 10 years, but they tell me, dude, you're on every week. I feel like I still talk to you every week. Like they're like, you just don't leave.
It's Hotel California.
Like you just never go away. I haven't seen you in 10 years, but I feel like I know you because I hear you. And it's like, you know what? Thank you. For everyone that just lurks and listens, um, thank you. You know what? That's
Yeah.
fine because you know what, Ben, like I still get referrals because of Gnaw, right? Like it's the idea of you're staying top of mind, right? It may not be an immediate oh, I've got, I increased my newsletter email account by X numbers. It's not like that. At least that's not how I intent to use Gnaw on this. But I will say, the second either one of you or me stop having fun,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it's thought leadership. It is brand building.
yeah.
For me, it's top of mind. It's once a week that I am in front of my LinkedIn audience and I'm in front of people that I know, like, and care about. And it gives, some people show up all the time. Some people show up on a regular basis. And you're right. There's probably a ton of people that just sit there and lurk. There's a lot
Hmm.
of people I haven't even got a clue whether they're watching or they're not watching. But every so often, I will get an email and say, that was a great episode. Or you made me think about this. Or I took that advice and I tried it and it worked. And that to me is worth gold because what it does is it enables me and it positions me as someone who is a thought leader in a very specific genre of just sitting there going, okay, how do we talk about communication? How do we talk about, uh, you know, relationships? How do we talk about understanding? How do we talk about trust? And those are the things that to me are the most important things. And if we can continue to talk about those type of things and continue to sit there and give people those aha moments where people go and go, ha, I hadn't thought about it that way. That's a different way of looking at it. I may not agree with it, but
Yeah.
at least it gives me pause to think and something to gnaw on that I think we've done our job.
Yeah. Y- Well, you know what I love is that someone like randomly a buddy of mine, I haven't seen him in like 20 years almost, right? Like it's crazy. It'd be 17 years since I've seen him. He lives in
Wow.
Hawaii now. So, he has a rough life. He lives in Hawaii now. But every now and then he like sends me these like lovely little DMs on LinkedIn and he's like, saw you today. Didn't agree with the point, but saw you today. Hope all is well. You know what I mean? It's like such a wonderful way for people to keep tabs, right,
Hmm.
on you and their response, the fact they would take the time to reach out. It's like, yeah, that's a sign to like, hey man, how you doing? You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's such a wonderful way to reach out for those that may or may not want to receive that message at that point in time. Sometimes I'm a big universe person. So let me just clarify. I'm a big fan of sometimes the universe will like send you little things along the way. And I do think that sometimes like if our topic of the day resonates with someone, like I feel good about that because maybe that's a message they needed to hear,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Or vice versa, right? Someone gives me some pointers back of like their perspective on one of our topics, which I think is lovely. Where I get people DMing me that will agree or disagree or want to add thoughts, but just won't comment because
Yeah.
work. They don't want to be caught like socializing on. Although I think that's a thing of the past now, but yeah. But anyway,
It's humbling to me. I mean, some weeks we get hundreds of people that look at our LinkedIn live, and sometimes we get 1,000 or more. And it's, as I said, it's not for everybody. It's in fact, it's not for most people. We're never going to be a show that's going to be, 1 million people. We're never going to be a show that's going to have 10 million to have 10 million viewers. But that's not who we're doing the show for. We're not doing the show for the greater audience of the world that is the anonymous soul. We're doing it for the people that care about it and the people that
yes,
see value in it and the people that go, "Hey, wait a second here. That was really interesting. Let me forward this to a couple people that I know, like, and trust." And I think that if you understand your goals, if you understand your audience, if you understand how to maintain that level of trust with your audience and that level of relationship with your audience, that audience will grow. And it may not be to enormous sizes, but that's okay.
yeah,
It's having the right people looking at the show, and the people that are decision makers, and the people that can come up and tap you on the shoulder and say, "See ya, saw you on the show, been watching it for about 6 months. Can you come in and talk to me?"
yeah,
And if that's the person's watching your show, guess what? That's gold.
yeah. You can't, no matter money dollars that you put into it. right? Because it's a connection. It's
Yes.
it's the community that we're talking about. It's communication. It's being able to articulate, good, bad, ugly, and difference to someone. Because I think we do. One thing I liked. I'm going to shift gears just a little bit because do you remember when we first conceived the show? What the concept was initially? Do you remember? I know you steered me away from it then, but
Yeah, I steered you away from it. You wanted to do stuff that was, in the news of that day, almost like an Entertainment Tonight type stuff.
ish.
Ish. Yeah, it wasn't, yeah, it was Entertainment Tonight ish type stuff. And I'm sitting there going, that's not me. That's not that. I'm going, that's not me. That's not my brand. That's not who I want to be. That's not what I want to be talking about. And we tried a couple episodes and they never aired. But we did run a couple episodes and we looked at it and I looked at these things and went, that's awful. Because I
It
wasn't
wasn't
talking,
you.
I wasn't talking from a position of authority and I wasn't talking from a position of passion.
Yeah.
And not being in my pocket was the wrong thing. If we had continued down that path, this
We
show
wouldn't have
would have
lasted.
this path show would have lasted 3 months.
Yeah.
Listen, let's land this plane because I want to say thank you to everybody out there who watches this show, everybody who shares this show, everybody who comments on this show, everybody who DMs us from this show. Uh, Thank you all for everything. Thank you for being part of the tribe. Thank you for making me laugh on a regular basis. And thank you for being you. And thank you, Sia, for being you because I can't do the show without you.
I appreciate you as well, my friend, and everyone in the audience, thank you so much. That we know time is valuable, and 15 minutes is a lot to ask for weekly, out of people. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those that do support us outwardly, obviously you make us feel. It does feel good to get commented on, good, bad, ugly, and different, right? Thank you for liking. Those are, that will see us on YouTube. Thank you for liking, subscribing. If those are listening on podcast format, thank you for liking and following. Thank you. Again, we couldn't do it without you. And Ben, obviously to you, I'm very grateful for the fun. I love the fact that, we do agree more often than not, but when we don't, I find those like the best
Those
because
are the fun episodes.
they're fun because I learn and I
Yeah,
appreciate that. So thank you.
absolutely. All right. I'm Ben.
I see ya. See ya. By the way, see
And
ya means fourth one.
that's right. And we will see you soon.
Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Not On This Business Bites. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. If you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at IamBenBaker.com or me at BrilliantBeanMedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. See you next week for another episode of Not On This Business Bites.